Good morning everyone. This is Kaylin Kamikawa. On the morning of October 5, 2021, Windows 11 was finally released. It was released one day earlier than planned, so I was a little surprised. So, when I tried it immediately, I couldn't install it on my PC, as expected. As I mentioned last time, my PC is a Lenovo X270 notebook. CPU is Core i7-7600U, 2.8 GHz, so-called 7th generation CPU. Windows 11 will show up as a deprecated PC. However, even if I installed the beta version, it was working smoothly, so for me, I wanted to use Windows 11. So, I couldn't do overwrite installation with Windows Update. Actually, there are 3 ways to install on Windows 11. Maybe you can install it by the second from the top method? When I tried it, I was able to install it smoothly. Well, isn't it a lie that you can't install it? I was wondering. This method is a clean installation. It returns to the so-called new state. Well, even with a clean install, if you can install it and update it afterwards, I have no problem. Isn't it rather refreshing? The method is 1. Click the second and save the setup file to USB. I heard that you need about 8 GB, so I bought a 16 GB one for 980 yen at an electric shop. 2. When I ran setup.x in the downloaded USB, delete everything in Drive C and do a clean install. I got a message saying I saved the data file in the C drive to another USB and then ran it. I also bought a USB for 980 yen. Then the contents of the C drive were exposed and a clean installation started. As planned, the installation was completed smoothly. I was able to boot a completely new Windows 11. What's that? Isn't it easy? What's the noise so far? I thought, but well, it just returned to a new one. Well, after that, you can set the printer, set the Wi-Fi, set the mirroring with the TV. Reinstalling the app was a hassle, but it was a hassle. The installation is completed successfully and you can use it. However, this does not mean that there were no problems. 1. The original USB drive you installed, to be exact, the SD card drive. It is no longer recognized at all. Even if I insert another micro SD card, the drive does not come out in the first place. It will recognize another USB drive. 2. It seems that security has become stricter, and you will be asked for a PIN, personal identification number, at startup. You will also be asked for your PIN when waking up after sleep. This is annoying, so I want to make sure it doesn't come out. Play with settings and account with NetPLWiz. You can play with user account information. I managed to prevent it from appearing. In the beta version, you didn't have this kind of trouble. 3. Some things went wrong with certain apps. I'm surprised that this wasn't the case with the preview version. Well, these will eventually heal. I'm not so worried. So, the main point is it true that Windows Update cannot be used? But this is also a lie, isn't it? Currently, the update works fine. I also made it an insider developer user account. I have installed the beta version without any problems. I updated it as a trial, but it became Vir.22471.1. However, this is nothing. Even with the beta version, it was Vir.22471.1, so I have no idea what's different. Even if you don't bother to put the official version of Windows 11, even if you are already a beta user, you have already installed it so far, so I feel that the efforts I have made so far have been wasted. Also, however, I don't know after a year. It may be disabled at any time. Well, but thanks to a clean install I feel that the problems I have had so far have been fixed. Sometimes it may be better to do a clean install. By the way, the third installation method is in a clean state. For example, replace the HDD with a new one. If you want to boot from a DVD and install it on your HDD, of course, clean is also a clean installation. Please note that the current state cannot be overwritten. So, it was a noisy Windows 11 installation. What you can do is not much different between Windows 10 and 11. Well, I like the UI. That's all.